Ciao guys, my name is Andrea and I want it all. And today I want a perfect body. All my life I thought as myself as someone with an average body. Never too trimmed, never too fat, most of the time with an healthy weight, but never memorable. I've got to a point now where I just want my body to be perfect. I'm making this video at the end of 6 months of working on it, and I want to go with you through a few videos I've made during the process. But first of all, I really feel the need to talk about stuff. It's a really difficult topic, I know, and for me it is, for sure. This experience, I mean taking care of my body, made me think a lot and also changed my mind a little bit. So I'm here to share this journey with you and try to understand what this journey can mean to people, or to me at least. The very first thing we have to talk about is that there is no such a thing as a perfect body. I believe this sentence is very hard to understand, and I'm still fighting in my mind to make it my way of thinking, because the perfect body is just a concept. It's the thing that you think looks amazing. Typically, the perfect body as you think of it looks perfect in pictures, has no flaws, looks kind of sporty, has pleasant proportion, for example. I could go on. You can't be any more wrong. All of those things are just aesthetic features that has been invented in our society through magazine, advertisings, movies, social media. It's a mix of entertaining world and business world, showing extremely curated and photoshopped bodies that simply don't exist. I know you heard those stuff already, but the indoctrination we received doesn't go away so easy. The result is that no one has a perfect body. No one you know, no one you saw on television, anyone you can think of as it. So in this journey I ended up setting two standards for my perfect body, my own perfect body. The first one is aesthetical and the second one is more practical. You'll notice that both of them are absolutely subjective and not objective. The aesthetical goal is feeling good in my skin, having a body I'm comfortable with when I'm taking off my shirt at the beach, a body I like when I look myself in the mirror, a body that I feel proud of. I also have to admit that the aesthetic standard for me is not only between me and myself. The approval of others, liking to people, having people think he has a great body is something that I just can't read off. So my goal is also just mind my own business. I do that in a lot of other aspects of my life, so I really needed to start doing that in this case. That's just not good for me. So when I will stop thinking I want to like to people, maybe it will be a problem solved in my mind instead of in my body. This point for me brings in a huge overall problem, that is lack of perspective. I absolutely don't judge myself in the same way I judge others. To a point I actually like things on others that I dislike on myself. But this is way too big for this video. Let's just give it there. A little bit of perspective could help me very much. The second goal, the more practical one, is to have a body that feels limitless. Every time when I don't take care of my nutrition and I don't exercise, I feel my body very weak, very tired all the time. When I don't take care of my body, I always forget how it feels. And when I instead do it, I always say, oh, that's the feeling, I should do that more often. So that's the two goals I've set in the last 6 months. In order to reach them, I've focused on two things: what I eat and the exercise. I know it's very basic, but I really needed to have concrete and simple tasks to do. I didn't need philosophy or meditation or a state of mind. I didn't want new approaches or new trends. I just wanted to keep my feet on the ground. Anyway, nutrition is what, in my experience, makes me lose weight when I need it. On the other hand, exercise is the factor that gives the shape to my body. As my body works, if I just stick to a diet and lose weight, my body will look slim, yes, but very boring. The exercise instead will give a shape to my body. That's in theory, because I always saw only the beginning of the process. Then I just stopped, let go. failed. I've never pushed myself far enough to actually see results, because I'm motivated only when I feel bad about myself. But as soon as I reach a pleasant result, I just give up. And every time I find myself between two feelings, which are the result I've reached is still not enough, but it's enough just to stop worrying and stop taking care of it. Now, exactly now, I'm in that precise moment. I wish for more, but I'm losing the motivation and the need to go on. I will make another video in a few months, so please subscribe and see how it's going. Anyway, back to 6 months ago. How did I decide to proceed? Of course, with help. I felt like I was not objective enough to give myself a good pace for the process. So I went both to a nutritionist and to a personal trainer. About food, I just wanted my mental effort to be zero. I wanted the problem of what I had to eat to be someone else's. I just needed to follow instructions. No worries, no questions, no doubts. I just wanted that problem to be off my desk. At the start, I weighted 75 kilograms or 165 pounds or 11.8 stones, which was the heaviest of my life. Spoiler, I'm short. For the official charts, I was in the overweight section. I still wasn't in the obese box. And about that, I always thought, okay, maybe I don't look amazing, but how big of a deal could it be? The nutritionist told me, and I have to read it, I was in increased risk for diseases and health conditions compared to those with a healthy weight. That was a little of a deal, I guess. Now let's look at the start. 6 months ago, I started making videos of myself shirtless. I hoped they could help me with my lack of perspective, so let's look at myself at the start. I took 3 videos each time, one sitting, one standing and one from behind. I remember I realized how I needed to take care of my body only when I start doing it. Just before this moment, I felt, not great, but that I could live with it. I just wanted to improve myself and set new goals, but as soon as I started, I felt so late. I felt much worse and in a hurry suddenly after a couple of weeks in. The thing that I tend to focus on mostly are the love handles. And you know what? I accepted that. They sometimes will be bigger, they sometimes will be smaller, but they will never be gone. Another thing that I've noticed in here is that I look older. I believe it's related to bad habits that I had, maybe drinking more alcohol or eating trash food, and maybe those things made my skin worse. So I've been through 2 months of calorie deficit and exercise 3 to 4 times a week. In that way, I've lost 7 kilograms or 15.4 pounds or 1.1 stones. For the charts, I was back in the healthy box, and also I was able to change the percentage of my body, lowering the fat part and increasing the lean one. So just in a couple of months I was in a much healthier place. So at the 2 months appointment, the nutritionist said, okay, my job is done. You are healthy, go away and live your happy, healthy life. Okay, no, that's not what he said, but he asked me if you wanted to go on with the journey, and I said, of course I want to go on because I am so far from the goal. So that's what I look like. I remember that after making this video, I was even less happy with the result. Instead of helping me, for some reason this video actually got me down. I realized I felt better than I looked instead of the other way around, and seeing this video didn't help. If I had perspective and if I was able to be objective about my body, I could be happy instead of frustrated. In fact, right now, months later, I believe that the result is visible. I was actually on the right track and I should be willing to go on, so I should have acknowledged that. I still don't know what happens inside of my head sometimes. Next check was 4 months in, so another couple of months of diet and exercise. I remember that at that point I felt so good with myself and I really felt that I was in the place I was looking for. All that bothered me about my body was gone. Things like while sitting down, my belly made these small fat rolls instead of a big one. My love handles were much less and the torso also was no longer so chunky, and I really felt very comfortable. At this point I've lost 11 kilograms or 24.2 pounds or 1.7 stones. At the appointment with my nutritionist, at this point he said I needed to stop being on a calorie deficit and change my diet. Then I realized that I needed to review my relationship with food. I didn't tell you anything about my diet on purpose because diet is very personal and mine was tailored on me, so it's not good for anybody else rather than me. And also the needs of people may vary very much, so I won't give any nutritional plans or concrete details, but I needed to say it was very simple diet. It was extremely healthy. Can something be extremely healthy? No, it was just very healthy. It was thought to be really easy to digest with very few ingredients each meal, no processed food. Let's just say Mediterranean diet made very simple. I knew I couldn't go on with that diet because I really started to feel the need to have the fun part too. Now I was thin, my goal was reached, and I knew I needed more relaxed rules about food. The moment of sacrifice needed to be over. So I made this rule. At home, I'll be sticking to the diet. Outside, like restaurants, parties, birthdays, I will just enjoy life. I felt so genius about this rule. I raised my quality life so much just by doing this. I could be able to keep up with my diet most of the time, while I completely stopped worrying about ordering the wrong food at the restaurant, for example. At this point I changed the other thing too, the exercise. For 4 months I made only cardio, or exercises meant to burn calories. But now I wanted to switch to, I don't even know how it's called, shifting weights, strength training. It's when you go to the gym with a gym schedule and instead of running you just lift weights and do push-ups and stuff like that. Anyway, I started doing that. And let's see the 6 months final result. That is the point where I am right now. As you can see, I believe that the good point is that what I wished for in the last 2 months, I was actually able to achieve. So I think I'm starting to give the shape. The bad part is that for some reason I still see the pear shape of my body, and that the fat in some parts is really hard to get rid of. I think that there could be 2 reasons. One is that there's some fat storage that could be more than 10 years old, because it has been a while since I've lost so much. And the second one for sure is that I'm 37. It's no longer that easy, guys. This point brings in a lot of mental topics. When I was fat and unhappy, I wished for a body like mine right now. I swear, if you ask myself 6 months ago, that was my dream body. During this process, I spent so much time feeling trapped in a fat body. But today, while I am in this place, I still feel the urge to get rid of the last flaws. I just keep focusing on them. And this brings in the ultimate question. Will I ever be happy with my body? Will ever come the moment when I will say, that's exactly the body I had in mind in the first place, that's perfect, task done? Also, the second mental topic for me, which is huge for me, is that I'm constantly feeling that every goal I may reach during the process is so flimsy. The exposure to social media didn't make me realize that all the people I saw so confident, so looking good, so fulfilled are actually faking it. If you are someone that had to put a lot of effort in shaping your body, you know how hard it is and how much sacrifice you had to make, and also how hard it is to keep going because you are in a place where the strain got you, and you know in your heart that your willing is not infinite. There will come a time when you lose it, maybe for a week, maybe for a month, maybe for a year, and you know what? That's okay. okay. That's okay. What's not okay is flexing your body like it's easy for you to have it, instead of sharing your fears. Like, my body is not designed by nature to look like this with my lifestyle. I basically sit all day. My body is not still in this moment as you see it. It's unstable. It will rebel if I don't treat it right. After all of this, I understood that my perfect body is in my head, not in my body. The perfect body is simply the body that you don't think of. I will have the perfect body when at that beach I will take off the shirt without checking if everything is alright, when I will pass by a mirror without looking for the flaws, when I never think of it in any occasion, when I should instead enjoy life. And all the above will never ever have to do with the shape of it. So that's it, guys. Please subscribe to my channel. Who knows where this is gonna take you. Hit like if you like the video or dislike if you didn't. This is Andrea and I want it all. See you soon.